Hey everyone, it's Neil again from Heart of Texas Armory, and today I want to bring you guys a video review of the Scurfa Diver 1, which in my opinion is one of the best tool watches on the market regardless of price. So join me today as we take a look at this really cool and impressive timepiece from Scurfa. And taking a look at the specs here of the Scurfa Diver 1, you'll probably notice that the specs here are very well rounded. We have a case diameter of 40.5 millimeters, lug width of 20 millimeters, lug to lug of 48 millimeters, which is nice, and a case thickness here of 14 millimeters. The watch does feature a 120 click unidirectional bezel, which is really nice. You can see it has excellent knurling here on the edge of the bezel for excellent grip, and the action is nice as well. Very audible, tactile, feels really nice. No backplate to mention here, but I will mention that it is slightly misaligned here, maybe about a half a degree to the left. Not a big deal, but I will mention that. The movement inside this watch is a really nice Swiss quartz movement here. We have a Ronda 515 movement with a date window. The water resistance here is 300 meters, which it is a dive watch here, and these are actually used a lot by professional divers, so this is a true dive watch. The lume here is also excellent. We have Super Luminova BGW9, and they've put quite a few layers on here because the lume is spectacular, as you can see. Probably some of the best lume that I have in my collection. This lume here glows like a torch and lasts all night, so very nice on the lume. And taking a look at the dial here, I'm a big fan of the design here. We have a black background here with white hour markings and also a white handset. At first I thought I may not like having that much white, particularly with the handset being the same color as the hour markings, but I find it to be very pleasing to the eye and actually works really nice. The text here is also kept to a minimum. We do have the Scurfa logo here at the 12 o'clock, and down here at the bottom we just have Diver 1. So I like that it's very simple, minimal amount of text. This is a clean dial here overall. We do have a date window here at 3 o'clock. The white color of that dial wheel there actually balances out the dial because we do have the white hour markings, and then the white date window there just ties right in with that. And we do have a sword style handset here, which I'm a big fan of. I think that's probably my favorite style of handset. Love that they went with the sword style here. Also a big fan of how far the seconds hand reaches out here all the way to the chapter ring, which is nice, as well as the minute hand here. Really nicely done. The tick markings here you can see are pretty accurate as it tracks around the chapter ring. Pretty much spot on every time, and that's because this is again a Swiss quartz movement. Battery life on this is pretty solid as well. Expect to get anywhere from 3 to 5 years per battery with this watch. The bezel insert here is aluminum, and I'm a big fan of how they did this bezel insert with the minute markings throughout the entire bezel. So full 60 minutes of markings here. I really like that. Kind of gives it a vintage look in my opinion. Also like this domed sapphire here. Beautiful dome. You can always get some great distortion effects here. This does have a healthy dose of anti-reflective coating on the underside, which is always nice to prevent reflection. And looking at the case here, it is well done, as you would expect coming from Scurfa here. And this being a tool watch, a dive watch, it does have a brushed finish throughout, so brushed on the top, sides, and back, and that's a good thing to help hide some scratches you might pick up from daily use. And we do have a oversized crown here at the 3 o'clock position, which works beautifully as you would expect. Nice grip, nice knurling here. And that crown is protected very nicely with a large set of crown guards here. Some of the most beefy crown guards that I've ever seen on a watch here, so nicely done on that. And we do have a very robust screw down case back here. Almost overbuilt as well, just like those crown guards. And you can see it has a very nice etching here on the back, deeply engraved. My watch here is the MS18, which is a limited edition. Only 100 of these watches were made. Mine here is number 9 out of 100. My particular watch originally came on a Toxic NATO strap, a black one, but I've replaced that here with this strap code Angus Jubilee, which I do like, works really nice. But I do know that Scurfa will be coming out with a dedicated bracelet for the Diver 1s here, hopefully in the near future, and once they do, I will probably be taking this bracelet off and purchasing one of those for my watch. But for right now, I do have it on this Angus Jubilee bracelet, which works really nice, and I think looks really good with the watch as well. So one of the neatest things about Scurfa Watches is that the owner, Paul Scurfield, he's an actual professional saturation diver in the North Sea, and he designed all of his watches to be used for deep sea diving. So these watches here are all true tool watches. They're all true dive watches made to be used by professionals, and I love that about this. So it just gives you extra value and confidence. When you buy one of these, you know it is going to be a serious dive watch, a serious tool watch, and I love that. So to wrap this video review up, I'm a big fan of Scurfa watches. I love how rugged they are. They are serious tool watches, and the value you get with these is simply incredible. These watches can be picked up anywhere from $175 up to about $200 for the quartz models. The automatic versions are a little bit more, but to me, this quartz model here, the Diver 1, is really the sweet spot, because when you think of a tool watch, you want ruggedness and simplicity, and that's what quartz brings you. So some of the things I really like about this Scurfa watch is just how clean the dial is here, that black background with the white contrasting colors here. Just really easy to pick up and glance at your wrist and just see that time just instantly. In any lighting condition it works, whether it's low light, whether you're underwater, that black with the white contrast works beautifully. Another positive would be the overall build quality and construction of this timepiece. Being a Scurfa, it's going to be a quality watch here, but this is a very well built and rugged timepiece. I love that it has drill lugs, the brush finish is very nice, and also just how overbuilt everything is on this watch. So if you're looking for a watch here that is a true tool watch that can pretty much take anything you would ever throw at this watch, you definitely would want to consider Scurfa. And finally, the last couple positives here. One is the lume. You already saw that earlier, but man, is that BGW9 impressive on this timepiece. In fact, it is probably the best lume that I have in my collection, and that includes a few Seiko watches. So that tells you how good this lume is. And I'm also a fan of the dome sapphire. Although it does add a bit of thickness to the watch, it is super cool to have that dome sapphire, and it's nice that it has the AR coating underneath. And for the negatives, there's really only a couple things here. One I mentioned briefly earlier, and that is the bezel is slightly misaligned. Now, that's probably just this timepiece here. I'm sure if you ordered a Scurfa watch, it's probably going to be aligned pretty much perfectly. But this one here is slightly, maybe half a degree rotated just to the left here. You can see it right there. So that is a bit of a negative. And then the last thing I'll mention is that this watch, it does wear a bit larger than the specs would indicate. To me, it wears more like a 42, and then it does have a thickness here of 14 millimeters. So it is a thick watch, and that's partially because it is so overbuilt, but also because it does have that nice dome sapphire crystal. So in the end, this Diver 1 from Scurfa is an incredible timepiece. I love how durable and rugged this timepiece is. And whenever I'm doing an activity, whatever it might be, that I know my wrist, my watch is going to take quite a bit of abuse, this is the watch that I grab. So for snorkeling, scuba diving, maybe I'm working outside in the yard or something like that, this is the watch I'm going to use because it is so well built. That quartz movement is pretty much bulletproof. All you have to do is just change the battery maybe every 3 to 5 years. It's just very simple. But overall, this is one of my favorite timepieces here. Guys, if you're in the market for a tool watch, a really nice dive watch, you definitely should consider Scurfa watches. This Diver 1 here would be an excellent choice, but they have quite a few other models. They're apparently coming out with a MS18 here, maybe in 2 or 3 months, so be on the lookout for that. They've also got their automatic watches as well. But this one here, the Diver 1 MS18 Limited Edition, is the perfect tool watch for me. So if you have any questions or comments on this watch, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And guys, I'll catch you on the next one.